You just finished your second quarter as a public company. What's the journey been like for you?
It's been good. My co-founder Arash said this. He says his biggest surprise was that there weren't more surprises. So it's been surprisingly straightforward life as a public company for the first couple quarters.
So are you doing anything differently? I mean, do you feel a greater responsibility?
In some ways, it's kind of back to work or back to business as usual. And part of our path to being public, we have been running the company like a public company for the past couple of years. So if anything, it's been back to recruiting and building.
So you just reported strong earnings. You also announced your COO, Dennis Woodside, who was there for 4 years, is leaving, and investors seem spooked by that. Should they be concerned?
I don't think they should be concerned. I mean, Dennis has been amazing. Like, he's been an incredible partner to me, and when I think back to where we were when he joined the company, we were a fraction of the size, like a few $100 million in revenue, and now we're a global company with 2,000 people, offices around the world. And it's actually because the business is in such great shape that he can pass a torch. And so importantly, he has built an awesome team, and we'll miss Dennis, and I'm sure he'll continue to go on and do amazing things, but I'm also sure that the team we have and that he has built and led will as well.
So what is your plan to get more individuals and more corporations paying for these higher priced subscription plans?
Well, we've been making a lot of progress, and to me it starts with building a great product. And so over the last quarter we announced a bunch of improvements to the core Dropbox experience and to Dropbox Papers, things like paper templates, and a number of improvements to the admin experience for IT admins. So we start there, and then when we think about driving adoption of the higher tier plans, some of the newer features like Smart Sync are only available in the highest tier or highest tier individual subscription, or in the business version of Dropbox. So we focus first on engagement and driving making the product as good as possible, and then we do a lot on the back end to drive conversion and build into the product ways to match people with either the paid plan that makes the most sense for them or functionality that they haven't been using yet. So if you're running out of space on your computer, then we can show you Smart Sync, and that's driven a lot of the ARPU expansion, or a lot of the growth in revenue per subscriber over the last couple of years.
At the same time, you have these cloud giants like Amazon and Google and Microsoft wanting a bigger and bigger piece of the pie. What is Dropbox going to continue to do to differentiate itself?
Well, for us, competition isn't zero-sum, and so we've existed alongside the Office suites and companies like Microsoft and Google pretty much since the beginning. And so what our customers turn to us to do is tie it all together, because with Office suites they keep you within their apps, but when we look at our customers and we look at their phones, they got everything, right? They've got all the Microsoft apps, they've got Dropbox, they've got Google, and no one is helping them pull all that together. And so the fact that we partner with everyone and that we help organize all of your content across the different ecosystems plays to our strengths.
That said, I mean, the cloud landscape is changing dramatically, and I feel like you and I have been talking over the last 8 years or so, and it's always been about the competition. What keeps you up at night, given how fast the landscape is changing? What do you worry about? Well,
so there's a war for talent out there, and that continues. And so making sure that we have the best people, and also just making sure we're placing the right portfolio of bets. And so it's striking the balance between continuing to improve our core product, then also developing new products like Paper, and then planting seeds for future products that will be part of the core business.
What about acquisitions? Do you plan to do any?
We will
in this
continue.
Environment?
Yeah, absolutely. Buying companies has been a great way for us to build our company. So whether that's bringing great talent into the company, we've done a couple dozen talent acquisitions. Even new products like Dropbox Paper were seeded by an acquisition called Hackpad. And so being a public company makes it easier to do larger acquisitions, and so that's something that we'll certainly continue to look at.
Any areas in particular that you're interested in?
Well, so I mean, we continue anything that helps people work better together, and so we take a pretty wide view of that. And when we look at acquisitions in terms of how do we bring great talent to the company, or how do we accelerate our product roadmap, or how do we accelerate our business.
So when you look at where the growth is going to come from, is it going to come from adding new customers, or is it going to come from somewhere else?
Well, it's really both. So we're focused on driving subscriber growth and then driving revenue per subscriber. And so on the former, we look at our business, we've got hundreds of millions of people who are monetizable users who are registered for Dropbox, and at 11.9 million subs, we still have a lot of headroom among the people who use Dropbox and to grow. So we continue to be focused on driving subscriber growth, and we've improved that a lot over the last, those numbers have gone way up over the last couple of years. And then with our higher tier plans, both on the individual front and in the business version of Dropbox, as we've added new features, we've also been segmenting them so that people who are getting more value at Dropbox are trending towards higher price plans.
Are you planning to add new data centers?
Well, we'll continue to grow our data center footprint for sure. I mean, there's a lot of people using Dropbox, and the amount of data in the world continues to explode.
What about the enterprise? What are you doing going forward to continue to hone your enterprise strategy?
Well, it's in good shape, and I'd say we've been enterprise ready for a long time. And when we look at we've got some demanding customers. Even in the last quarter, the Bundesbank, the Central Bank of Germany, became a customer. And so we continue to make sure that we're developing all of our functionality, whether on the end user side or the admin side, for customers who are very demanding on the security and visibility and control front.
So you've recently adopted new technology that will dramatically reduce the physical space needed to store the same amount of data, right? How significant is this going to be for you and for the industry?
Well, I think it's an example of us controlling our infrastructure, giving us big advantages in terms of flexibility and cost. And so that's an example. It's a hard drive technology called SMR, which changes how down at the platter of the hard disk, how data is stored. And it is a big innovation because you can drive higher density and lower cost, but it's challenging from a technical standpoint because you have to change how you write your applications, and you have to customize things. And because we control the whole stack, we're able to take advantage of that. And I think it's a testament to the team we have working on it. But that's not available in the public cloud in the same way. And so it's an example of the flexibility and cost advantage that controlling our infrastructure brings.
Losses are narrowing. When will Dropbox be profitable?
Well, we are on our way. Things are heading in the right direction, and we continue. I mean, we've got a big opportunity in front of us.
So what are the goalposts for you right now?
I think continuing to just make a generationally better experience. So over the last few years, we've shifted our focus from keeping files in sync to keeping teams in sync by focusing entirely on collaboration. And I think there's a ton of opportunity to make the experience of using technology at work a lot better, a lot less distracting, a lot calmer, a lot simpler.